Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Mark Weiner, joined by Dennis Papadatos, as I am each and every week. And Coach, the season comes to an end in the national tournament. We'll just go day by day. First, Cody Ruggiero and Jamel Hudson each go 1-1 on day one of the tournament. First, talk about Ruggiero's effort.
He had a tough draw. That kid he's hurt real bad, but he is a two-time returning All-American. His brother was going for a fourth national title. Ohio State was going for a team title, so it was important for them to have him win. And like I said, he's been battling some injuries. He missed a lot of the year, but most people before the year started expected him to be the national champ this year. So that's who we drew in the first round. And there was some nerves, and we won it. The score wasn't as close as it should have happened. In fact, we felt like we had him pinned for a good minute 40 in the second period. The ref didn't slap the map, but so it was good. It was a good tension reliever to get through it, and Cody wrestled hard and beat a very, very, very good kid, to get on to the next round. And Jamel wrestled, a pretty good Big Ten kid and kind of beat him up and then pinned him. So that's always a good thing for sure. And then they both ran into two Edinburgh kids just by habit, not by habit, by a matter of fact. And they were the number 2 seed and the number 3 seed. Cody wrestled tough. The number 3 seed actually was an inch away from winning the national title, lost in the national finals. We wrestled hard, lost, maybe the kid might have been a little too much for us in that round on that day. And then Jamel got hurt in the first minute, and he had a forfeit out of the tournament, as you know. So day one started out great, and then I would say ended up not great, but not because of lack of effort, because we suffered an injury and suffered a loss against a real good kid. But all in all, was put us in a good position for day 2.
And in day 2, Cody Ruggiero does go 2-1, but does get knocked out of the tournament in the end. Just sum up his season as a whole. Obviously, his last season we're here with the Pride.
He battled some adversities. He had some injuries. He wrestled really tough at the national tournament. He was an inch away from being an All-American, and when people say an inch, he legitimately was 1 inch away. The kid's back was 1 inch away from the ref starting to count back points, and he would have won that match and been an All-American. So he really was an inch away and a few seconds away. A few more seconds, the kid might have went over. So it is what it is. He battled. He brought inspiration to the guys. They really liked the way he battled, and he's met the lot because he's a pinner and he's got great grades, and he's almost done with his masters already. So he's been the stereotypical prototype kid that you want. So how could you say anything different? He had a great season, even though he had some injuries. Had not a very good EIWA tournament, but he had a good national tournament. And as I keep saying, he put a national championship level effort, and he barely fell short of being an All-American. But it wasn't because of lack of effort, and it wasn't for bad calls by the ref. So we can sleep at night because he did everything he could, and we feel like we did everything we could. And it wasn't the way we wanted to end it, but we feel like we did what we could.
Your other wrestler that got to the national tournament, Jamel Hudson, ends up having to forfeit because of his injury, but finishes the season 24-6. He's a junior. He's coming back next season, so a lot of promise. He's a sophomore, excuse me. A lot of promise for him in the next 2 years.
Of course, he's super talented, and in the first All-American round, he would have had a kid he beat by 10 points during the year, and that kid made it to the All-American round. So he probably would have been in the same spot Cody would have been in, which would have scored us a lot of points. But it is what it is. Obviously, had to medically forfeit out, and we'll get him, ready and hopefully mentally and physically ready for next year. So,
overall, as a team, obviously not the record you wanted, 5-11, but still a lot of things that you can take positively and then look forward towards next season.
For sure, that's what you always have. You only truly lose if you don't learn from the losses. So, I always say that, and that's what we always, look for. And as I said to some other people, we ended up taking 4th at the national tournament out of the EIWA, which we took 13th, at the tournament. At the EIWA, we were a point and a half behind Princeton, who took 3rd out of all the EIWA's teams. And they did a great job, but we forfeited to the Princeton kid, Jamel did, and that gave them 3 points alone. If Jamel beat that kid, which he did by 10 points during the year, we would have finished in 3rd place out of all the IWA teams, which should have, could have, would have. It was still a forfeit. A good example is if we simply lost to him and didn't forfeit to him, and it wasn't a pin, we would have finished in third place out of all the IWA teams at the NCAA tournament, which was, again, that's not the person did an outstanding job. I'm just saying, showing the improvement from our IWA tournament to the national tournament, from 13th out of 16 to 4th, and probably should have been 3rd behind Cornell and Lehigh at the actual national tournament. So again, not what we wanted, but improvement nonetheless.
Coach, thanks so much for a great season. This is our last WB Machen Coaches Report. I'll definitely miss you over the off season.
Well, stop by my office. You're always welcome, and so are you. You're always welcome to stop by. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll get it going again next year.
Dennis Papadatos, I'm Mark Weiner. Thanks for watching all year long right here on GoHofstra.com.